What do you need? What things would you like to see in the election so that you're confident in the result of the election?
I mean, I'm not one of those guys who's out here saying, "Oh, we're gonna have voter fraud." I mean, there's definitely we've seen some situations where, like, I believe I saw this news story the other day, not the other day, it would have been like it was like a month ago, where like someone's dead cat somehow got like a ballot to register to vote, and something ridiculous like that. And we've kind of seen a little bit of that, but I'm not too afraid of the one thing I'm a little concerned about is that one major mailing, essentially, what was it, like a a mailers union, essentially, for urban mail carriers. Their union endorsed President, or former Vice President Joe Biden, which it's a little that's a little bit sketchy to me. But I'm not gonna be like, whatever. Like, if Donald Trump doesn't get elected, it was obviously voter fraud. Da 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 da. Um, but that's just one thing that, like, I would like to see when you're entrusted in this major role in the democratic process, delivering the votes. It's a little bit scary when you endorse a specific political candidate.
For me, I think uh, this the scariest part is going back to the court, and we've seen throughout this election cycle the court acting as a Republican or a wing for the Republican Party in this election. And look, Trump has somehow convinced a majority of his supporters that the somehow he's legitimized one outcome of the election, but delegitimized the other outcome of the election. And that's a scary thought to me. And look, um, Brett Kavanaugh just wrote a law, or not wrote a law. He gave an opinion um, that state legislators that basically allowed state legislators um, to pick their uh, electors for the electoral college. So Kavanaugh basically opened the door for state legislators to disregard the popular vote of their state. And since most swing states, state legislatures are predominantly Republican because of gerrymandering in 2010, um, now the state legislators now have the power to just overturn the popular vote of the citizens of their state and force their ideology onto the federal government. And I think this and it's strange to me how intent and the Republican Party is on suppressing votes rather than actually earning them. And lastly, the last example that I want to give is something crazy. So, we all are probably familiar with Greg Abbott's rule that there's only one drop box per county in Texas. Now, Greg Abbott wants to throw out 100,000 ballots, 100,000 people's voices from before he implemented that rule when they dropped them off at different drop boxes. He wants to invalidate those ballots. And I don't understand how a person who legally fills out their ballot, legally drops it in a drop box, does everything right to make their voice heard, to make their opinion matter in our democracy, how they're being shut out from our electoral process. It's ridiculous. It's amazing to me, and I just can't see past that. So I can't see myself supporting the Republican Party after doing that. It's shocking to me.
I mean, it seems almost that you're insinuating here that the politics is scummy. I mean, that's pretty extreme take. I'm just kidding. What I'm trying to say is that it's politicians. This is the game of politics, and to insinuate that any specific party is more of like is not doing what it's trying to do to get ahead as much as possible. Like, I didn't know about that Kavanaugh thing that was just mentioned. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh wow, that's so shocked. Like, it's not very surprising to me. It's politics. Any politician, it doesn't matter what politician, and it doesn't
But
matter what
Kavanaugh is not
party.
supposed to be a politician. Like Kavanaugh is supposed to be a court
But,
justice, not a politician.
obviously, he's in a political position. He's in the Supreme Court, and he's associated with a political party nominated by a certain political candidate. I'm not surprised by it. that he's trying to do every little bit he can to get an edge. I don't really support it. It seems kind of, I'd have to hear the other side of the argument before I'd like fully, especially with that Texas one. I could definitely see there being another side of the argument with the ballot boxes. Like maybe there was some sort of issue they've had, but I'd have to hear it off the bat without any sort of rebuttal to it. It does sound pretty scummy. It's just essentially to get people to vote less because or make it harder to vote because Republicans are more likely to make that effort to vote. But yeah, that's just politics 101. I mean, you could say, oh, they shouldn't do that, but politicians shouldn't do a lot of things. We just got to catch them on the stuff. We just got to catch them on the stuff that's illegal and stuff like that, and vote this person who's most reflects our views. So at least when they are a little bit more, and I mean, here's I know I'm kind of taking a long time to respond to this, but right now in this area where we're so divided, in this time we're so divided, we're kind of letting it slide when politicians are more scummy than they should be. Um, and I think eventually that's going to break. Something's going to happen, and we're eventually going to say enough is enough. We're tired of this division, and we're just going to elect some guy or girl who's just a genuine person to I don't know whichever to either Congress or or to the role of president. Um, that's just a genuinely good public servant.